Hey guys, welcome back to BennyUnboxed. Today we're going to have a great conversation about two IEMs under the $100 space that you're probably looking at right now. What we're talking about is the KZ ZS10 Pros coming in at $50 versus the MoonDrop Arias coming in at $80. When I was doing research about buying my first IEM, audiophile-ish IEM, I don't really know too many things about the IEMs, who's in this segment, who are the big players. I know Sennheiser makes a couple, and outside of that, I just know the basic, generic ones on the market from Beats to Apple, whatever. And what started this was I wanted wireless earbuds, and at the time my girlfriend gave me her AirPods, and I was like, oh, this is kind of nice being able to walk around the house, doing random chores. And then I wanted something nicer, so I did end up getting the Sony WF-1000XM4s. I love them, and I was like, wow, the shape was very close to a traditional casing of an IEM. And I was like, you know what, I do have a DAC, an amp. Let's get some IEMs. Maybe I'll enjoy not having headphone hair for once after playing a game of Counter-Strike or listening to music and then going out. So, it's nice to not have to do your hair and, quality of life, little things like that. So I went with the KZ ZS10 Pros first, and I will say they do sound nice. They're a fun earbud, bass forward, and I have many good things to say about them. For $50, it's fantastic. Honestly, it's $48 if you don't get the microphone. But with my KZ ZS10 Pros, when I bought them immediately, I read some reviews about the cable, some ear tips, so I ended up getting the Dakani tips and Linsol Trip Owen 16-core silver cable in 3.5mm, just so I could plug it into my iPhone or any 3.5mm jack. They're great for EDM. That's what I was using it for. And also, I do play a bit of video games. I do play Counter-Strike competitively still. And when I was playing, I noticed a lot of the sound and detail was getting blurred in Counter-Strike, and I was missing out on sound information that I thought was crucial, that could help me with my decision making in the game. And I was not hearing the details or maybe the clarity I desired. The soundstage was pretty good for the ZS10 Pros, but they're definitely not as big as the 600s or even my Arias or even my HD 700s I was using previously. So I was looking at they're okay, they're good for music, not really too good for Counter-Strike for me. And the other big issue I was having was comfort. They run a little larger than the Sonys. The Sonys get uncomfortable for me after several hours, 4 to 5 hours. The ZS10s got me feeling pain in my ears in the lower part, probably in an hour of use. And I was like, oh, this is not too good if I can only get an hour, maybe just a quick commute, to the grocery store or something like that. So then I was looking at the alternative, and I'm like, MoonDrop Arias are $80 on Amazon, and I'm like, for $30 more, I'll buy them. If I don't like them, I'll return one or the other. Ended up getting the Arias several days ago, and I did get them a 16-core cable as well. But in both cases, I would recommend getting an upgraded cable down the road if you don't want to spend the initial investment of $50 or $80. Alrighty, as I said earlier, going over the cable. So this is the stock cable for the ZS10 Pros. As you can see, it's neatly braided. It's like a 4 or 6 core wire. It's a 3.5mm jack with the traditional QDC ear hooks. These are QDC. They're like the 2 pins, but they're covered in a shroud. Let me get closer so you can see what I'm talking about. And let me zoom in. There we go. As you can see, I think these are nicer. I like the extra protection. This is overall a more superior cable. And then this is what you get from the MoonDrop Aria. MoonDrop Aria, it's braided, and as you can see, it ends up tangling very easily, and it's very thin, super tangly, made of this weird nylon cloth. If I can zoom in, as you can see. And I did upgrade both cables, like I said, to the Linsol 16 core. This is a 16 core silver, super nice. A little carbon fiber accent. If I can zoom in, you can get it. know. You can kind of see it. There you go. It is a metal casing. Very nice. It looks like rose gold. These are the 2-pin connectors, and then over here we have the ZS10 Pros. I got the blue one. It's a some type of polymer plastic casing with a metal backing. Arias are full aluminum. I do like the quality feel you get from the all metal. The metal on the back here is textured. It's a little rougher on the edges. There's some sharp points on these grooves when they cut into it, but it's on a polymer plastic based casing. The cable here is the same one, but it is a little more expensive for some odd reason. I think this might be infused with another wire. It is a 16-core silver from Linsol, but this is 40, so this is 20. But you can get that same blue on for the Arias, and it'll be $40 as well. I'll take a look at the bottom, but there might be a slight difference in the cost. It could just be the blue shielding is an extra $20. Who knows? And then last but not least, the Dakani tips. I lost the paperwork or whatever in there. And the one big benefit is the little pouch it comes with, the little MoonDrop case. If I can zoom in. Yeah, and I'll be honest, the clear winner here is definitely gonna be the MoonDrop Arias. I think it's a more premium product for the extra $30. The only downfall from it, like I said, is this black cable it comes with. But if we're talking about stock to stock, this cable is significantly better than what the MoonDrop cloth cable is. But at the end of the day, I think everyone that will end up getting either of these IEMs down the road would spend an extra $10 to $20 to upgrade the wire. You know, the cable, it might make a sound difference, especially if you get the balance cable. But yeah, I would recommend definitely upgrading the cable on the MoonDrops because they're terrible. But if I had to spend the money again, get the Arias, save the $50 towards the Arias at the cost of $80. Realistically, the $30 difference, it does make a cost difference, but for $80, I don't feel like there's an IEM in the space, from what I've been reading and researching, that really competes in this space until you're hitting like the $200 to $300 range, and that's the next step up. I would say if I were to upgrade and have an upgrade path, I would start off between $100 or less, and then eventually hit a $300 to $400 IEM down the road. And by then, I'll be honest, I frankly don't know if it's worth it, because I'm more of a headphone guy, over the ears, open back. So for me, I'm starting to dive into the IEM space and see what I like. But I will say this, I do enjoy my MoonDrop Arias right now. Good sound stage, very detailed, good for the vocals, and it's a little bit, I would say it's on the fun side as well. And not as bass heavy as the ZS10 Pros. I think the ZS10 Pros just have an extra punch. And I'm driving both of them right now through my IFI Zendak V2. I tried putting it in my SMSL SP200. The low end is a little noisy on the floor, so I can hear a little, like, I guess white static, whatever you want to call it, on the low end. So it's a bit too powerful to run it off that amp. It's running perfectly fine off my Zendak V2. If you have any questions about either of these earbuds or IEMs, whatever you want to call them, please leave a comment down below, and I look forward to giving you a new review or an unboxing soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.